And we're live, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. I am here today with Anil. Anil, we're talking about a very, very important subject today, aren't we?
We are indeed, which is how to be the world's worst influencer on LinkedIn.
Now tell us this. So important for everyone to know why to be the worst influencer on LinkedIn. Why are we doing this, man? Because this is a social cause.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn's just too good, right? We've got to create a bit of balance, and like there is Batman, there's got to be a Joker, and it's just the best way to sell is just be the worst, because it's easy virality, easy sales. People will know you.
Exactly. And I want to just focus in on the lack of morals and ethics that we will have in these tips. Some of these might be on the border, some of these might not. If you want to be the worst possible influencer you can be, we're going to give you the best tips we have learned from the industry ourselves to make sure you get there. Is that right, Anil?
Absolutely.
Right?
We're going for it.
We're going for it. We're going for it. We care about your LinkedIn journey. We want you to do as bad as you possibly can.
Absolutely. Let's go for it. Should we jump into something?
We should jump in. I know you're excited, man. Let's throw something out there. What do you want to start with? What's the biggest game opening tip you have for people watching?
Now, this is just super easy, and I think we've all done it. Come on, don't be shy. It's just go to someone who's got thousands or hundreds of reactions and comments, and just copy and paste. Like, absolutely, just do it, right? It's so easy. Don't have to think about it. Don't have to credit anyone. That's the worst thing. That's the best thing, in fact, crediting people. Don't do it. Literally just copy and paste, change a couple of words if you have to, because they just don't fit with you, and just hit paste and just reap the rewards.
Wait, so you're saying just like copy the whole text and just put it in your search bar and just write that in there like that?
Hey, presto.
That's nice crazy. I never thought about that, man. So from what I'm seeing is you just don't have to do any of the hard work. You can take someone else's hard work and just pluck it in as your own. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's a content strategy that no one tells you about, but it is. Everyone does it. That is the world's best content strategy.
That is crazy. Has anyone done this before? Because I've never seen it.
Well, there you go. Right? You won't know.
That's it's included in your $10,000 course, isn't it? The top 10 tips of how to be the worst influencer.
$9,997.
That's only if you buy it.
Yeah, it has to, but it's been discounted from $200,000 though, so it's only $9,997 right now during this live stream. After that, goes straight back up to an inflated price that I've just happened to made up right there and then.
Right, beautiful, beautiful. I love that we start this thing out right with a discount. I love the idea of promoting plagiarism on LinkedIn because it's so much easier than to sit down, create content yourself. And we're all about showing you how to be the worst possible influencer, lacking any creativity and having any sort of genuine message that came from your heart, right? So here's what I'm thinking. Why don't we take this up a notch? Why don't we look at posts on LinkedIn that are doing really well and then copy those? What do you think of that idea?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Can you think of a particular kind of post that does really well? Because I know one that comes to mind right off the bat.
I think ones that do really well are the most obvious ones, right? So we know the world has to be in a particular way, and it's just referencing that, like, you've got to be kind.
Yes.
That's going viral.
I think what I'll do now, I'm going to give an example. Hey, someone already wants to sign up for our course. So just so you know, the price has gone up from $9,999 to $20,800 now. There's a huge line. Man, we got a lot of people. Listen, we can only accept 20,000 people into this program today. So you really got to act fast. The link should be somewhere in my bio or in my description or whatever, but it's going to sell out pretty fast. What I want to do, and this is part of our LinkedIn Scammer Accelerator program, where you really need to understand how to get attention from people on LinkedIn, okay? I want you to really memorize the following phrase, and I'll give you a live example. And the following phrase is, "Dear hiring managers, please stop X. Please stop Y," okay? I'm sure you know where this is going, Anil, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, haven't we all been there? We've all been ghosted. And I think it's super important that we can.
Yes. So here's a live example. So if you go and type in, "Dear hiring managers, please stop," okay? This is the kind of post I'm talking about. Now, the reason this works so well is because every time you make hiring managers or recruiters the butt of the joke, everyone gets on the bandwagon because everyone hates those people on LinkedIn. I used to be a recruiter myself, so I've taken a lot of those hits. So, dear hiring managers, please stop asking 25-year-olds. This one is fantastic. And actually, if you go down here, you can see the same exact post again. Dear hiring managers, where is it? Please stop asking 25-year-olds to have 15 years of industry experience. Let's scroll down a little bit. Please stop asking 25-year-olds to have 15 years of experience. But let's not stop there. Dear hiring managers, please stop asking 25-year-olds to have. So you see what I'm saying? What you need to do, there we go. We got another one. All you need to do is find one of these posts that performs really well and just plagiarize it. Just copy paste it and just make sure it starts with "Dear hiring managers." What do you think of that strategy, Anil? Bet you didn't see that.
I was about to say, yes, sir. I mean, it sounds like you're doing live testimonials of how successful our course is, because you can clearly see, can't you, that people have paid. Gene, don't just submit now. Put your bank details into the chat. Just submit now, because you've clearly seen that these successful people on LinkedIn have paid the 200,000 price tag. Gene, we're happy to just drop it down for you. We'll go $25,000 just for you, Gene. So you can clearly see it. It's work
today. Yeah, and you'll get a free PDF with all the templates of all these fake posts that we have. Speaking of testimonials, you had another tip we were talking about testimonials. Talk to me about that, Neil.
Now, we all need to sell, but I think it's just so easy when you can write your own testimonials. Like, why not? I mean, just write your own testimonials and then ask other people to post them for you as if they were a paying client, but they're not. Works a charm. But a quick tip is you need to change the tone. Otherwise, it's pretty obvious that you've written all of them. Inside joke that.
You don't want to make it too obvious that it's your writing style, right?
Can't make it too obvious.
But how would you get these people to agree to give you a testimonial if they weren't your clients?
Well, that's where you get into the whole LinkedIn pods game.
And we include that information in our course, which is up for sale right now for $26,000. Link is in this description. I didn't mention that before, did I, Anil? About our LinkedIn Scam Accelerator course.
First time I've heard it.
Yeah, because the first time you've given such a big discount on our course. Another thing I want to say is if you're going to post testimonials, make sure to only post the first name of the client. So it could be Maria A or John B or Sammy A, whatever it is. Just make sure never to post the whole name, because you don't want them to actually look these people up, right? That's the last thing you want to do. And that way it could actually be legitimate. So you can make names up, literally just take any first name you want, any alphabet you want, write whatever you want as a testimonial and put that in your bio. What do you think, man?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as long as it's completely made up, you're all good to go. Otherwise, people can't check, right?
Yeah, and you know what? If you really want to go the extra mile, I'd recommend using some ethnic names too. So don't just stick with like Jack, John, Samuel. You want to have some names from around the world, just so people think it's legit. So just so people think you work with people from all over the world. That's really, really important.
You've got to be worldwide. Hashtag diversity, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be small, do you? You mean people are doing some scammy things on LinkedIn? Like, yeah, Shelly, if you want to be the worst possible influencer you can, follow some of the worst practices on LinkedIn, be the worst influencer, then absolutely you should plagiarize. And you should find posts that are doing really well on LinkedIn that you didn't come up with and just copy paste them and your engagement will shoot right up. So in the last example, the Dear Hiring Manager post, you'll find that even if you have no engagement and you just trash hiring managers and recruiters, chances are you're going to get a ton of likes and a ton of engagement. What do you think?
Absolutely. And I think another good one, and this I'll give you for free, is when, I mean, I don't know how many Gen Zs there are in the world, but geez, I mean, every Gen Z in the world is being hired right now because I've seen that post. I don't understand. I mean, surely there is like a huge demographic of society where there's just no unemployment. And I think that's got to be the Gen Z crew. Like everyone seems to be hiring them, and everyone seems to be homeless, and everyone seems to be a great top biller. It's just crazy. Like it's bordering, like, I don't believe it. Bordering.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to all the influencers who are giving jobs to these Gen Z people who have no experience, but they show up on time and they've got the determination, and now they're a CEO of their own company, all because someone gave them a chance. Shout out to those people, man, because it seems to happen every 4 hours for these people, don't you think?
Yeah, and even dogs. I mean, I've seen dogs who have been hired from it, and it's crazy. It's like, here someone goes, like they're going on their morning walk, and they offer a bit of food to someone, and they happen to be a bit hairy and disheveled looking, and all they seem to know is woof. Yet a day later, they're hired and they're a top biller. It's like incredible. I'm like, we need more of these people. We need more of these dogs in the workforce.
No, they just got to be given a chance. It doesn't matter if they're qualified. And it's interesting how if you want to do something similar, just make sure never to tag the person you're talking about. Just keep it as vague as you possibly can. So just say, I hired a Gen Z person for my team, and this person is obviously a part of their team, but why tag them, right? Why bring them up and show the entire audience about this person who's done a great job? Just kind of keep it under the radar so no one can really look them up and see if it's legitimate. That's always a really good practice.
Yeah, and your company's on LinkedIn, but it's like you seem to be hiring like 10 people a week. Yet when I look at your company LinkedIn page, there's only like one person, you. So it's a bit strange. So that's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like, people will never like put it together that you've hired 10 people in a week, but your LinkedIn company page doesn't have anyone attached to it at all.
You got a comment? We have one more post I see a lot every Friday, Sunday is when people asking to connect to expand their connections. Gaurav, man, you beat us to it. That was one of our primary tips that we were going to share with you. Let's talk about this one, Anil, because I think this one's really, really important because the week's coming to an end. People want to connect. You want to get engagement as an influencer. How can you take advantage of the situation?
Just call yourself any animal, probably a lion, whatever that is, cat, dog, dolphin. And just say you're open to connect. Work's a treat. I've seen so many lions who are always open to connect. And I just never understood why people want to be a lion. Like, why don't you just be a giraffe, a tiger? Like, you could be any animal, but I think that always works a treat. It's just fire them off. Doesn't matter who to. Don't even need names. Don't even need notes. Doesn't make a difference at all. Just fire off. Even better, go to your mobile and just keep scrolling and hitting connect, because on your mobile, it's just super quick and you don't need another dialogue box. Doesn't come up on your mobile when you press connect like it does on your desktop or laptop. So that is a super free tip. But if you give us your email address, you can sign up to our email subscription list and we can give you some more tips. Maybe.
Yes. And the funnel will take you to our $27,000 course, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Is this a trend these days? So Gaurav, another fantastic tip for you is on Monday and Friday, like you mentioned, create a post saying, leave a comment below about what you do, or I have a huge network. If you want to get recognized, if you want to connect with other people, leave a comment. This does two things. One, it gives them the illusion that they're actually connecting with people. If you'd be surprised how many people have actually gotten jobs commenting on someone's post like this. I'd love to see stats on that, but I wouldn't say it's too high. But what this really does is it gives you engagement, because all these people are commenting every Monday, every Wednesday. You're getting a pool of people connecting with your post, and your post is being pushed all over LinkedIn. If you want to be a terrible influencer, this is my go-to. I would highly recommend doing this. I don't know, have you tried this one?
Haven't tried that one yet.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to steal that though.
This, Shelly, you're beating us to it. We have all these in our notes. Shelly, is she part of our program too? I feel like she knows some of these tips we're talking about.
Shelly, don't give it away.
If you want to join our program, just for you, it's going to be $35,000 if you sign up today. The price is going up every second we are on this live stream, but it seems like you've already got one out of our 4,000 tips. So how about a poll question where they ask you to use a reaction as your answer? What do you think of that tip?
Love it, because the secret is to get engagement.
Yes.
So all you need to do is offer choices. And the more choices you can offer, brilliant. That's it.
Remember, being genuine is not what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to be genuine. We're not trying to be authentic. We just want to get as many likes, as many comments on our posts as possible so we get more followers and we feel good about ourselves. This is also we can feed our own ego. We don't really care about anything else. So I think using polls for emotions, it works fantastically. In fact, I should probably put out one today just so I can up my follower count a little bit. Anil, what else do you got for us, man?
So my favorite is when you make up that, or when you accurately say that LinkedIn has a new feature and you just have to double tap your screen, particularly on interactive devices like your mobile phone.
Genius.
And it will show up for you. Fantastic.
So you're kind of tricking the audience into liking your post. Is that what's happening?
No. You're asking for the like, aren't you? You're asking to see the feature. So it's all genuine and above board. You may or may not actually see the feature, but hey ho, I think that's for the LinkedIn engineers. But there is apparently a feature where you double tap the screen.
That's pretty unbelievable. Wow. So you keep telling them to try out a feature, and by doing so, you get likes on your post and it pushes your post out everywhere. Is that right? Man, we're dropping some golden nuggets here for people. I'm sure no one's ever thought about this before. We've got another one from Gaurav who says, one more, people asking in their live session to comment yes, no to random questions they ask in sessions. Gaurav, if you're watching this, just leave a yes in the comments, just so we know that you can see this. And by the way, I love engagement on my posts, so I'm going to do that. If you breathe air, just type in yes in the comments. If you're on LinkedIn watching this, just type yes in the comments, just so we can know. Do we do that right, Gaurav? Let me know. I think this works pretty well.
Yeah, and I think what you can also do is just ask a question.
Yeah.
Where you know the answer is there's only one particular answer, like, do you want to live or do you love life? And just type in interested. Let me know in the comments below. Interested.
Oh man, we're going there, are we? Okay, so let's take a detour into what else you can do in terms of worst practices on LinkedIn. So sometimes you'll see a job posting come up on LinkedIn, right? And it tends to be a pretty long one too. So I'm hiring for ABC company. We're requiring this. Tends to be a pretty long one. You've got a lot of resumes to fire out, maybe 100 a day. You don't really have a job searching strategy. So what you want to do is carefully not read the post and just type in the word interested in the comment. What this does is it gets everyone's attention and they really want to see you and your profile and send you a job offer right away. So whenever you see a job posting on LinkedIn, don't read the whole thing. Just type in the word interested. Even if it's on the other side of the world, worth the shot, right? I know this works all the time, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, all you have to do is just say yes. That's it. Don't even put anything else. You see a job and you just put yes. That's it.
No, I like yes, but what I like even better is hi. Just leave a hi in the comments. There's nothing that portrays your personality more than just a basic greeting. A hi, maybe even a hello if you're feeling fancy. Just nothing to show how you might be a good fit or how you want to learn more about the role. Don't try to do any of those things. Just try to do the minimum possible effort. And that way you can do volume, right? You can show 100 people you're interested. And out of one of them at least can go to your profile and hire you. That's the logic that I use.
Yeah, and let's even go one step further, right? So you see someone who's posting the job, right? And
yeah.
Click on their name and just connect. Don't even send a message. Why? Sending messages is just a waste of time. Yeah. Just connect. Or if you're fancy and you've got emails, send an email. And in that email, just say you want the job. Nothing else. Just, hey, I want the job. That's it.
It also has to be a really long post. Let's not forget about that. We can't just have a couple of lines. We need it to be an entire storybook from when you were born all the way to now and how that's relevant to the job. Or actually, no, don't even make it relevant to the job. Don't make it relevant at all. In fact, just yesterday, I got a mail from someone who wants to apply at my company, which apparently I own, for a UX designer. I had to look up what a UX designer is, but because he took initiative, I had to hire him. He was a Gen Z candidate. He was living out on the streets. He wanted to be a UX designer, and he reached out to me. So now he's making $200,000 a year, doing God knows what for me.
Wow, who knew that there's UX designers in the world? Hey,
yeah, is that what it's called? UX designer? See, I didn't even know that.
I think it's an UX designer. I think it's an UX designer. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's touch back into the influencer category because again, we're trying to make as many influencers on possible seem as inauthentic as possible. One thing that I've realized is, and this is really powerful if you do it right, you need to emotionally manipulate people with a story that doesn't exist. Have you seen any of these posts before?
Oh, love them. Yeah, they
Right.
usually. I mean, now we're in a pandemic, but for
Yeah.
some reason, I've seen so many stories where people are out having dinner with friends in public, in restaurants, and no
Yeah.
one's wearing masks. And I mean, there was this one amazing story that I read, and it just so touched me. Like I was close to tears actually. Was when uh, uh, someone was ordering dinner, and then they overheard on a different table someone being incredibly rude to a member of staff, like a waiter or waitress. So what they decided to do was leave a note on their receipt, on their bill, and even tip $1,000. And it was just,
Wow.
the note was incredible. And the note, not the gesture, the note touched me. And the note said something like, money can't buy you happiness. And I was like, oh, that
Wow.
is so philosophical. And that really touched me. And I just broke down into tears. I didn't even manage to finish the rest of the story, but I'm pretty sure that the waiter then took the $1,000 and invested in crypto and became a millionaire and bought the restaurant. Like, it was just,
Yeah. And now they're best friends, right?
exactly. Now they're best friends. And it was just like, what fate. I mean, incredible.
Incredible. It's such an unbelievable story. And what I found fascinating is how this seems to happen every other day, right? I've seen such stories where people share my nephew was unemployed, or my neighbor was unemployed, my mailman was unemployed, my gardener was unemployed. I told them to do this. I told them to go believe in themselves and really show who's boss and just walk into the office and ask for jobs, and everyone around them seems to find a job. So I'm not sure whether having them in your social circle just means you have a higher percentage of likelihood that you won't be employed, or that there's something that they're doing to you that's enabling you to eventually find a job. Statistically, these people seem to know a lot of unemployed people. I could never really understand that, but I feel like the more stories you can come up with to show how you've helped people, how you're a hero to people, other people will see you as an authority. And I would recommend abusing this every week if you can, for really maximum effect.
Yeah. And I'll tell you a personal one, which, hey, look, we're all in the business of caring,
Hey,
Yasser and I. So we're
vulnerable here. Go ahead. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's try it.
and just because we're great people and we're trying to teach you to be the world's worst influencer, like, I'm going to give you this one for free. So I mean, yes, I don't know. Maybe we should not sell the course, and maybe we should just give it away for free.
It's just one of the tips from our $48,000 course, which is, by the way, going up as a live stream progresses. But yeah, we'll pick out one of the tips. Go ahead, Anil.
So about 6 months ago, I went for a job, and I had long hair, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I had long hair. And when I was being interviewed by the panel, they laughed at me and they said, hey, look, we can't hire someone with dreadlocks with yours. I was like, whoa, like that's just outrageous. So I was like, I'm going to show these people. So what I did, I went home and I even asked, I said, what happens if I didn't have the dreadlocks? And they said, well, we'd hire you. So I was like, I'm going to show these people. So I went home and I decided to shave off my dreadlocks. And I went in the next day and I said, how about that? And they hired me. But I can't seem to grow my dreadlocks back. So
wow, that's a powerful story, Anil. I feel like not only should you tell this, but you should tell it over and over and over again in different formats. So just change up the hook a little bit, and every week just shower them with the same story. And the more emotion you can throw in there, the better, because you really want people to feel this story, right? And especially if you don't have any other stories to go with, I would really spin this as many times as you can. It's fantastic. One of the best stories that I've heard, and it's very similar to yours, is when someone gets out of college and they don't really have a lot of experience, right? And they really want this senior manager job right out of college, and it requires 15 years of experience. But obviously that's very unfair, because how dare anyone require 15 years of experience for a senior role, right? So this person somehow lands the interview, makes it to the final round of the interview, and they turn him down. And they say, no, sorry, we can't hire you. We found someone else who has more experience, right? And this person is completely bummed out. They're feeling, wow, life is so unfair. How dare they? I don't have any experience, but I have the will, the courage, the determination to make it as a senior manager. So what this person does, he goes to this career coach or this influencer for advice, and they say, you know what? You need to believe in yourself and value your skill set. 2 years later, not only did they start their own business and make $1 million, but they also bought that company, and that interviewer now works as his janitor. That's the story. And it's completely 100% true, and there's nothing about this that's fabricated. It just goes to show how generic advice can take you so far.
I'm now reassessing my own life now, Yasir. I think I might have to start believing in myself too, if that can happen.
Right, you might. And you know what I've noticed, man? Just having generic quotes, if you have no creativity that day, say it's like a Thursday evening or a Friday, and you're like, I need to put out a post on LinkedIn, just come up with the most generic quote that applies to as many people as possible. You'll find that a lot more people can resonate with it. You'll get a lot more engagement. And you know what? You'll feel good about yourself, like you made some sort of an impact.
My favorite is just an image and one word and a full stop. And it's usually something like breathe.
Really? Oh,
that's it. I mean, it's mad because I do it subconsciously, like every second of the day. But just hearing that, it hits me in the feels. And I'm like, do you know what? That is the message that I need from the world right now, which is take a step back and breathe.
Yeah, man. And I think, speaking of that, there's some things that they're supposed to be obvious, but we don't think about it, like breathing, right? It just, unless I hear from an influencer, I don't even know if I should do it, right? Like having a good resume or just being friendly when I'm networking with people. I don't know those things until I hear from influencers. I want to touch on a different topic. Let's take a little bit of a detour here. Let's talk about sales on LinkedIn, because we have a lot of sales influencers as well. I'm in sales, so I certainly know this. Let's talk about DMs. We just talk about connection requests, those types of things. What are some connection requests you think would be the best if you were trying to be the worst possible influencer on LinkedIn?
Yeah, and I did say like you shouldn't bother, but sometimes you just got to take it to another level. Like say if you're just being ignored, that is when you need to operate on a different level. And you know, we've got two we'll give away for you for free, but the others, I mean, the thousands of others we've got written away in this course that we're trying to desperately sell is first one. So is talk about what you have in common. Now, don't worry about the person. Who cares about the individual? Just talk about the number of people, the number of mutual connections you have, and that because of that, you have to be connected, right? So, hey, I saw that we have 65 mutual connections. How about we connect? Honestly, that level of personalization is just out of this world.
Because obviously you want to be friends with everyone your friends are friends with, right? Because in real life, you go up to someone and say, hey, I know you know Johnson from back in high school, so I think you and I should be friends. So therefore we connect.
Yeah, and what you can do now to take it to another level is just say that LinkedIn has suggested you as a connection. Works a treat.
LinkedIn can
now.
Do that.
Absolutely. And that has worked incredibly well for me recently. And it's just crazy. It's like the pressure's off you. It's like, I didn't want to connect with you, but LinkedIn has suggested that we should connect for some particular reason.
LinkedIn
amazing. Hell no.
Incredible. That's incredible. And I'm thinking of other excuses you could use to connect. I feel the one that works really well for me is just, hey, I'm always trying to add X people into my network, would love to connect. Hey, I'm always trying to add career coaches into my network, or I'm trying to add job seekers into my network, whatever. Any excuse you can to kind of slip in the door. Now, here's the thing. You send that out as an initial message. Once they accept, because a lot of people, they'll just accept every single connection request. You want to have, and I recommend at least 3 paragraphs of a sales pitch pre-written. And ideally, you want to use some of those automated features. So bracket first name, whatever, first name, and maybe even their job. So it seems like you tried. But what you find is when you're using a lot of these automated tools, a lot of them mess up pretty frequently. So what I'd recommend is taking that, copy pasting it. So when you send the sales script, it says, hey, first name, like it literally says first name, and then it has 3 paragraphs of a sales pitch, which has nothing to do with them. It only has everything to do with your product and your service. And I'll find that out of 100 messages, at least one time it will end up working.
Good stats. I like those odds.
Right?
Sounds good.
Or better, sell a product or service that will be used in any way by the person's business. Yeah, exactly. So for example, what service can we sell each other here? I know. Let's do a quick role play here. So if you are a career coach, right? I could sell you what?
I think you should sell me career services. Yes.
Anil, I saw your profile picture and you look miserable. So I wanted to reach out to you and see if you need help with finding a job. And by the way, I've helped 80,000 clients in the past, whatever. You can see some of these testimonials that I made up. Yes. That reminds me of all those testimonials that you'd see that you don't really know if they're real or not, which is great, by the way. Those are exactly the kinds of testimonials you want by Mary A. or Sean B. or whatever, who found a job at Amazon within the first 8 hours of working with his career coach. Make sure to mention that in your DM pitch. I think that's very, very effective.
Yeah, and I think persistency and resiliency is key here. Like if, honestly, when people say they're not interested, they are super interested. So you literally have to send them the same message again.
Grant Cardone said that not interested is a level of interest. So if someone says no, what it really means is it's not a yes yet. So you should just keep pushing. So for example, I had someone reach out to me offering me a job as a plumber in the Philippines. Now, I'm not close to the Philippines. I'm actually across the border. But what they mentioned, they took the time to look at my profile and they said, Yasir, I've had a look at your profile and we've established that you are the best candidate we could have found for this job as a plumber in the Philippines. Now, I was taken back by it. I was packing my bags. I was ready to go. I even said yes to the job, but visa issues come up and I couldn't take the offer up. That's why I ended up starting my business. But these opportunities will knock on your door.
I think a key one, particularly if you are female, and I don't know why, but these always happens to some of my female clients who invested in this course and invested in me coaching them to be the world's worst influencers.
Our $60,000 course that's available now, only today.
Oh, absolutely. Is selling a sales program that's a pyramid scheme or a multi-level marketing scheme.
Yes,
that is fantastic because that's what people want. People love selling other people's products that don't work, that they don't believe in. But it's like, hey, look, that is a fantastic way to learn about sales, is like how to get the metaphoric punch in the mouth of like, no, I'm not interested in your service. People love it. Women absolutely love it. Just sell my product. Go for it.
MLMs, multi-level stuff, I think it sells so well. So what you want to do is, I've been on the butt end of a lot of these messages and they're perfect. If you want to completely tarnish your reputation and piss off a lot of people in a very short amount of time, this is exactly the sequence. And we mentioned this in our program, the exact sequence to piss off your ideal clients in network marketing. So you send out a message just saying, hey, I saw your whatever, just want to connect, the usual one that works really well. And then the next message, you want to be a little careful how you say, but you want to say, hey, listen, have you ever thought about making any passive income? Or have you ever thought about starting your own online business or being your own boss or retiring your parents? Now, it's important that you never talk about the actual product. You never mention the name of the company, because the moment you say the name of the company, this person looks it up, all they'll see is pyramid scheme, pyramid scheme, pyramid scheme. So you don't want to do that, right? And then you ask them if they want to make this income, if they want to have their own business. Now, the average person who's never heard of MLMs will be like, wow, this sounds like a great opportunity. It sounds like a job. And then you bait them in, get them on a call, enlist them into your pyramid scheme. That's how we do it.
That is just outstanding. I love it. I like that one.
Yeah.
And I think, and sometimes you just got to like do random detours. So the best one I came up with this about 6 months ago and it worked a treat, was just ask questions that have nothing to do with the individual. And it was amazing because so normally people are like, hey, how's it going? Yes. Me, I was like, hey, how's your granddad? And it was just like incredible. This person was like, he's fine. Thank you. I was like, where are you from? And I'm like, no, where are you really from? Cool. When's your next holiday? And they were like, and that's what you got to do.
Time to learn about you.
Create confusion, create mystique. That's what you're looking for when it comes to building relationships.
Confusion. I love that.
That is gold.
Builds trust like confusion does.
Absolutely. Mystique, confusion, and just an air of like, what am I doing with my life?
Like, what do you want? Right.
And exactly. There's nothing it's I think it was Robert Greene, isn't it? The law of attraction or distraction or detraction.
I think I've got a book called The Law of Seduction. Or no, it's the what is it? The Art of Seduction. That's the one. Robert Greene. That's the book.
There you go. Absolutely. It always works. And so you got to, and like David said, you just have to be persistent. So here, someone said, hey, David, David got this message, right? So I never heard back from you. Would you be able to handle up to 10 to 30 insurance cases every single month? If you would like some help with filling up your calendar with your perfect client, I'd love to share with you how I do that.
David, 100%. Can you send me this person's contact? I might need to hire him. I might need 10 to 30 insurance cases. I need to look up what an insurance case is first, but I'm sure I can hire this person for whatever service they're offering. I got this message last week, and I was like, since when I work in the insurance industry? David, if you really think about it, all of us kind of do work in the insurance industry. Like, I want you to be open-minded with this. This person's really trying to piss off people on LinkedIn. They're really trying to be as bad as they can. So just think about, how can I be a part of the insurance industry? And you find that once you come up with a bullshit reason, you can hire this person for your business. Isn't that right, Anil? We should always support these people on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. You've got to have an open mind when it comes to careers, David. I mean, you can't shut anything out, particularly in this climate. And honestly, employers do not care about your motivation. All they care about is just your work ethic, how hard you can work. And whether you're a dog or a human, it makes no difference. Like, you will just do incredible things at that company.
Yeah, and David, he says this person gets a A+ in the course. But David, thank you so much for mentioning our course, by the way, which we haven't talked about yet. So in our course, we're going to be teaching you the top 55 steps you need to be the worst possible influencer on LinkedIn. If you want to be the most generic influencer who has the most generic advice and nothing authentic to truly share, this course is for you. Now, usually this course goes for about $100,000, but because you're watching this LinkedIn now, Anil and I are going to give you a very, very special discount, which is just $95,000. Anil, what comes in this course?
Well, we can't reveal too much, Yasir, but we talk about
not anything at all. I feel let's just keep it as vague as possible. It's just a great course. Like, look at our testimonials. Mary A had a phenomenal experience. Jason T just killed it with the LinkedIn course. We had who else? David, you kind of dabbled in the course too, didn't you? I think David had a great experience with it, but David was like, "This is not for me," and he just left the course. Which, if you really want to be a bad influencer, you got to commit to it. Like, this is not for everyone, right?
There's no halfway house. You're either in or you're not, and why not? I mean, LinkedIn is just a fabulous place.
Yeah. I know, where'd you go, my friend? Now I have to cover this thing myself. I think the course was so good that Mr. Anil just kind of derped out in the middle there. So can you guys see him frozen, or is it just me frozen on my end? Let me know in the comments. This is my excuse for getting engagement. We're just going to keep Anil's face the way it is now. So guys, essentially what we're going to do in this course, we're going to teach you every single step that you need to start from where you are now, an authentic person, someone who's really good at what they do, someone who has a lot of experience. And we want to take you to a point where you sound like just about every other influencer, okay? Some of the things that I found that work really well are just to see what other things people are doing that are working really well for them and just copy paste them. Anil, I'm sorry, my friend, but I'm just going to have to take over the show now. Looks like he's just going to join up later on. Shelly and David, thank you so much for watching so far. I really want to emphasize the value of my $98,000 course, which, by the way, has just gone up in price. You can find the link in the description. And just in time, we have Anil. Anil, I was just talking about a course and you just left me halfway there. I was talking about our $105,000 course that we were talking about.
Sorry, Yasir. My LinkedIn and my sales page for this course blew up, so it just ruined my Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
so
we're getting way too many people signing up for a course, man. Well, what can we do? Listen, we want to leave some people with some gems too. I want to talk about some DM sales strategies too. What I found works really well with DM sales strategy is you want to open with a few questions that makes it sound like you care about them. So like you mentioned earlier, but you say, hey, how is everything with your business? Or how much money have you made? Or how much money would you like to make? And even if they say things are going well, nothing needs to change, whatever, you just pitch them. So either you can copy paste a giant paragraph, or you can just go straight for the phone call, 2 messages, and you can say, listen, would you like to jump on a call and I can tell you all about my services and how I can help you? You don't even need to see if they have a problem. You don't even need to see if they're interested in what you have to offer. Just get them on a call. And you find the more people you can piss off at the phone call, the higher your odds are of getting a sale.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's the aim of the game, is to get people, is to literally send out your Calendly link, although others are available too, and just get people on a call so you can really get them hooked into buying something that they definitely don't need or want, but they have to have because you say so. That is the aim of the game. If you make relationships, doesn't matter. All you're trying to do is just sell.
Because obviously you were trying to run their business for them, and they know a lot about it. I want to share something with you, which I get in my DMs quite a bit. Now, this is a new strategy. By the way, this is game-breaking stuff that I'm about to show you now. So people are going next level to make it seem like they are personalizing their notes, okay? So I'll get a connection request. Once I get a connection request, they will send me an image or a PDF or something like this, and let me just see what it looks like. That's what it would look like. So, hey, Yasir, look what I found with your name on it. And it says for Yasir or whatever, right? At first, you might think, well, this looks really, really personal. But I got 5 of these, and in the message they sent me, they had, hey, first name, or if you look at my job title on LinkedIn, it says business coach, sales coach, 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So this person said, hey, Yasir, I noticed that you have a business about business coaching and sales coaching, 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm like, man, listen, you messed up right there. You just automated the title that you saw. But you can see people are trying to go next level. They are trying to be as personal as possible. Now, I feel like if you actually did this, if you were actually trying to be personal with people, it might work. But we're not trying to make it work here. We're not trying to be genuine. We want to do volume. We want to send it to as many people as possible. And we want the margin of error to be as high as possible so we can detect that a mile off. Have you seen this strategy before, Anil?
That's a new one for me, but it just reminds me of like the world's best sales advice, which I mean, I give all the time, even though I'm clearly qualified in sales because I've never done sales, but that's a different story. But I'm super qualified and experienced though. The aim of the game, and what's most important is quantity is better than quality. Don't let anyone tell you anything different.
I don't think you need to make connections with people. I think relationship building is overrated, to be very honest, especially on LinkedIn. Why would you want to build relationships with people when you can just spam them with the same message and a certain percentage would convert? Like, what's the point?
Like I say, it's all about quantity, not about quality. Don't let anyone else tell you any difference. And look, I mean, if you really want to build relationships and personal relationships, absolutely fine. Just comment on people's looks, appearances.
Yes.
Fantastic. Great. Like, who needs Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge? We don't need those apps. You need LinkedIn because it's your number one. I think it was ranked in some form of news outlet that I can't seem to remember right now, but it was ranked number 1 for marriage proposals or unwanted marriage proposals and unwanted messages, particularly to female audiences.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing how so many people don't think about simple tips like these that we mentioned in our $400,000 course. You really want to use LinkedIn as a dating platform. Now, why should you use LinkedIn instead of Tinder and Bumble? On Tinder, Bumble, all these platforms, sure, you can see their face, you can see which vacation they've been on, but can you see their work history? Can you see where they're working? Can you see how financially viable they are? You can't see those things. So you have that added information on LinkedIn, and you can decide, do I want to go out with an accountant? Do I want to go out with a sales rep? You can make those shallow decisions and judge people by their occupations and reach out to them accordingly. And by the way, feel free, be creative with your pickup lines, because on Tinder and Bumble, you can't say anything unless you match. They have to approve of it. But on LinkedIn, you've got a connection request. And if you really want to take it to the next level, use the in-mail feature, because you can write an entire love letter there and shoot it to your favorite people on LinkedIn. I bet no one's tried that one before.
Persistency is key, right? So you've got to send an email, you've got to send the connection invite, and then also you've got to ask for an ad on a post that they post and engage constantly.
Yeah.
Work's a treat for some reason.
Hello, pretty lady is always a great opener. Let me write that one down, actually, Shelly. I think that's a really, really good one. Hello, pretty. I'm wondering, does this work on guys as well? Because I want to make sure everyone has something to do. You can't say hello, pretty dude, right? I'm sure that's not going to work as well.
I think just
what would you like
like
to see in your DMs? What would work well for you?
Just hello, love the hair. That's my favorite one. I mean, that does make my hair tingle for some reason.
Oh yeah. Man,
commenting.
Some of the YouTube comments I get are just freaking hilarious. The one I got yesterday was, "Do you wear lipstick?" And I was like, "What? What?"
It depends how. Yeah. Do you want me to?
I was just like, what? Where did that even come? Does it look like I wear lipstick? But hey, listen, if you're gonna send me a connection request, that's a really, really good one to send. Just right off the bat. Hey, Yasir, notice you were wearing lipstick. Just had to come out and say it. Thanks for connecting. I love that. Thanks for connecting.
Yeah, and since we're on the topic of like using different platforms, I mean, something that we really go into our course on is just the fact that you're in multiple places at multiple times, and you seem to get inspirational messages. So one at the moment that I was in, I mean, I was in a clubhouse room with like billionaires yesterday evening.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And you know, it's these billionaires who I can't name because I just can't remember who they are.
Yeah.
They were, I mean, incredibly toxic, just horrible people. And I walked away from that just thinking, you know what? In life, you just have to stay humble and be kind.
Yes. Money's a terrible thing, man. You should be very ashamed of trying to make money as well. Just shame people who are trying to do business. I've had a lot of people who reached out to me and said, "How dare you charge for your service? You know, this is against human rights. You shouldn't be doing that." So just know business and money is just terrible. You shouldn't use LinkedIn for any sort of transactions whatsoever. It's an absolute no-go.
Yeah, and when you do reach out, or when you reach out to individuals who are selling something, like just ask them, like a great way to navigate around like that barrier of money and you having to pay something is just ask them this great question, which is, "Hey, Yasir, can I pick your brains about something?"
Yes.
That is gold dust. Like incredible. And it's
it works so well because you're going in with that mindset, expecting everything in the world to be free and delivered on a silver platter to you personally, and that no services should be paid for because you can find it for free. And obviously, if you can find it for free on the internet, it must be true, right? It must work. It's interesting because there's all the information you will ever need available for free on the internet, yet there seem to be a lot of people still having problems. I'm wondering why that is, right? So what we should do is we should really shame people for conducting business on LinkedIn. We should also shame people for turning you down for a job. I don't think we've mentioned that. If you apply for a job and you don't get it, remember, it's not your fault. There's nothing you could have done. It's always these terrible recruiters, these terrible hiring managers. By the way, great opportunity to make a post about it. Everyone's going to like it anyway. You're going to get mad engagement.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there. There's always been these dreaded, horrible recruiters and hiring managers. And
terrible.
HR people. I mean, it's so weird because it's like all of them are the same, aren't they? Like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure a hiring manager is HR and the recruiter. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like three people in one. Like, there's nothing that distinguishes them too. I'm hoping someone can write in the comments, like, is that true? Like, yeah, just type yes in the comments. I don't even know what the question is. Just type yes. Like, everyone in the comments, just type yes. Like, yeah, we want to hear you. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's always someone else's fault. Like, I don't know why, but it seems to be wherever I go, Yasser, there's always problems. And I'm pretty sure it's everyone else's fault, even though I'm the common denominator. I just can't seem to work that one out.
See, this is one thing I've learned from one of my mentors on LinkedIn. Never take responsibility for your actions or anything in life. Everything that goes on in your life, not the way you want it, is not your fault. So find someone else to blame, which is why if you're an influencer, you need to take advantage of this. You need to make sure other people, they feel like life is unfair. They feel like it's not their fault. So you make a post appealing to the common denominator, right? You make them feel like they're being heard, that someone's supporting them. You make them feel like, hey, listen, you don't have enough experience for this 20-year experience requiring a job, but it's their fault. And of course, they're going to like your comment. They're going to comment on it. They're going to share it, all that stuff. You really want to hone in on that if you want more engagement. I can't stress this enough. It's not your fault. It's never your fault. You never have to change anything about yourself. You are perfect.
Always. Never change. It's everyone else who should change because of who you are, and you're so fantastic.
You're not understanding what we're trying to. There's no sarcasm here. We're trying to give you genuine, life-changing advice here from our program called the LinkedIn Scam Accelerator. The price of the program is $150,000, but if you buy now, it's only $145,000. It comes with a free 2-page PDF showing you exactly where to buy the course.
Absolutely, Aleph. And, we can't be genuine and more authentic enough. Like, I think it's incredibly important for your own business. And, here, even in this PDF, we seem to be offering SEO services. So that might be, or copywriting services, Aleph. So we can definitely help you out with your SEO, your marketing, and your copywriting for sure. So why wait now? Like, if anything, just walk to the front of your room and just get your card out. We'll be there. Don't worry about it. We will come to your house with a PDQ machine and take that payment. Don't worry about it.
We'll take your money. Don't worry. We will take your money. We're pretty good at that. Speaking of taking their money, Anil, let's just close the show with some webinar best practices. I feel like webinars have become so common on LinkedIn, and they all seem to go the same way. So I've developed this system of if you want to be a generic influencer, this is how you should run your webinar. Now, I'm sure you've seen some best practice in webinar too. I've always seen it start with a lot of fluff and followed in the middle by more fluff. And towards the end, if you notice, they talk about a lot of fluff. And there isn't a whole lot of actionable advice, but what they do have is a lot of testimonials. So fluff piece, testimonial, fluff piece, testimonial, fluff piece, testimonial. And at the end, if you really want to learn how to do it, buy their $5,000 course.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, even though the title of this particular webinar, I mean, hey, we are the experts in this. And just like we've done, Yasser, even though the title of this webinar is like how to be the world's worst LinkedIn influencer, like, we've got you in. Now, thanks a lot for giving us your email address. We love it. Now you watch, you'll have 16 messages by the time this webinar is over. Don't worry about it. And what we're trying to do is sell you the course. So every single time we're going to shame you into buying this course that we've made up, and we're never going to leave you alone. That's how we roll. And we are fantastic human beings at that.
What you really want to do is, if you say have a webinar about how to find a job, right? You want to make sure you don't deliver on that. See, I don't have a problem with you delivering the value and then saying, hey, if you want to work with me, whatever, that's okay. But what you really want to do is you want to bait them with a problem they're having, and you don't help them with that problem on the call. So if say the webinar is how to find a job, don't tell them anything that's going to help them find a job. And towards the end, if they want to really learn, then they can buy your course. That's how I want you to run the course of the webinar.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. So why give away your services for free? Like, that makes no sense. Like, do not give anything away for free.
Nothing for free, not even your content. In fact, I would highly recommend, if your content is really fire, Have an OnlyFans account. Have all of your tips in the OnlyFans account. It's fantastic. I feel like OnlyFans is very underutilized on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and you could do wonders. Just images, videos. I mean, we might even stream this to OnlyFans as well. But I think it's super important that you can not. Yeah, so we're trying to run a webinar here.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah. No,
control
I'm
yourself.
trying to be as inauthentic as I can. I'm sorry. I'm just got carried away there.
We can edit that. We can edit that out afterwards. But I think it's super important that you actually don't deliver on anything. Like you said, don't deliver on the title. Just talk for an hour. That's the magic. That's all people try and do in webinars, is just get you to watch them for an hour, give you demos, and show you more videos of who have taken their course. And then it's over to you now. So it's like, do you want these results? I think that's just fantastic. It's like, of course you want these results, right? So why else would you be here? Therefore, I've even made it super easy. I'm going to send you about 25 emails. All you need to do is just click on one of them at the bottom where it says buy now, and you'll have all the answers. But what's funny is that we don't actually get rich off the information that we try and sell you, or off the topic that we talk to you about. We just get rich off the number of sales we make. And that is goldust. Like, I think Yasir and I are actually going to move, and we've got some plans, and we can't give away too much, but 2 words: cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and then sell a course. So we're not going to make money with crypto. We're going to make money teaching people how to do crypto. There's a lot more money in that than there's an actual crypto. And you can apply that with your own business too. To just teach people to do things that you haven't done, it really, really goes a long way. Some other best practices I want to mention with a webinar is, number one, make sure it is pre-recorded, but you tell them it's live. So you want to record this in advance. You want to use some sort of a virtual camera software, and you want to pretend like you're there live in the flesh, so that when the comments are coming in, you can start replying to them and you're not actually delivering it. The other thing you want to do is you want to pretend it's live if you're doing it automated. So for example, if you did this on a Monday and someone's watching the automated recording on the following week, make sure you have fake bots in the chat and that they're commenting the things you want to comment on. There's a software called Webinar Jam that's great for this, where you can literally put down the comments that you want to show up on your webinar when you want them to show up, and you can fluctuate the number of attendees there too. So if someone's watching the webinar, they feel like, wow, there's 60 other people watching this, there are 200 other people watching this, this person from Nigeria is watching, this person from Australia is watching, and it really sells the social proof, right? It really bullshits your customers to thinking it's live, and then you get a lot of traction. And that way, when you finally go into your sales pitch, you can have a lot of automated comments saying, wow, great webinar, I can't wait to buy this, so that this person watching it thinks, well, this person's buying it, that person's buying it, I should buy it too. Fake engagement is a fantastic way to get more sales out of a webinar.
Yeah, and hey, don't stop just on webinars. I think one amazing place where you really need to champion as much fake engagement as possible.
I love engagement. Yeah, love it.
They're just called like LinkedIn clubs. We can't use the official name because people won't like it. So let's just call them LinkedIn CODs. LinkedIn CODs.
LinkedIn, like fish.
And like fish, like fish. And the best thing about LinkedIn CODs is like you charge per entry, right? So imagine if it's a nightclub and you charge per entry, but you guarantee people, you make that guarantee to people that we will boost your post. It's incredible. It's a great system. So that's all you need to do is get some friends together and then just share each other's posts, engage with each other's posts.
Yeah.
But the thing is, don't leave meaningful comments. That defeats the purpose. You have to write very basic comments because it looks completely authentic then.
Right.
Which, like, great post, Yasir. And then someone else says the same thing. So you don't want to leave authentic comments. Be completely inauthentic. That will do wonders for your algorithms.
If you really want to take it to the next level, I want you to pretend like whatever this person is saying is gospel. It's the word of God. So if they say the most obvious thing, you want to reply as if you're their cheerleader. So if they say something like, it's important to get a job. Yes, Yasir, it is important to get a job. A, B, C, D, E, F, G reason. You just really want to piggyback. So essentially what you do is you get yourself and 5-10 friends and you just go back and forth over and over again. So if someone is coming to your profile, they see the same 5 to 10 people in the comment section every single post. You really want to do this because you want to create some sort of uniformity in your posts, kind of like, so it seems like you have an audience, and you want to make sure that people in your audience aren't connecting. So for example, if you are, let's say if you're a career coach, right? You want to make sure all the comments are not from job seekers. They're all from other career coaches, something like that. So there's this back and forth exchange with the algorithm, but no one who actually needs the help is commenting on their posts. So I think that's really, really important to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I mean, we've given away a lot for free. I think it's time we really tell them the big secret about this course that we're doing.
Oh man, we didn't even mention the course. I think we got a message from Shelly. And the retail price of the course is the price picked out of the air. You offer the course for 90% of the retail price. Shelly, thank you so much for mentioning this. This reminds me of our $200,000 course, which, by the way, right now, if you buy right now, it's available for $159,997. Notice you'll save the $3 on there as well, because of, I don't know why. Why do we have that price, man?
Just taxes. And it's better than having a round figure, right?
$3. You know, because it sounds like we really thought about this. We put effort into how much the course is worth, and we rounded off the calculation to 997. So it doesn't seem like it's too close to. What was the price again? I forgot the price of the course. We keep changing it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's just part of the distraction technique that we have in creating mystique. Like, do you know what? We don't even know the price. You'll know the price when you hit the checkout page. And that's what we're trying to do, is like, treat this as a cost, not an investment. That's the thing that you need to, that's the thing that you
this
need
is
to
a
deliver
cost.
here.
So
this is a huge cost.
If you're saving for a mortgage, a car, your kids' education, listen, there's no better way to dump this money down the toilet than buying our course. You will feel more inauthentic than ever before. You'll feel like you're abusing LinkedIn, and people will hate you, which is what we're trying to do here, aren't we?
Absolutely. You want all of those messages like David and Dominic and Shelly have received. That's what you want. This is how you create engagement here.
Yeah, and I'm just going to start using LinkedIn for dating now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these automated softwares. And I'm going to have a bunch of pickup lines that I'm going to use. And I'm going to hammer it out to 100 people every single day. A certain amount of them will convert. Hopefully, I'll get some dates out of that and put Tinder out of business. That's my strategy.
Works a treat. And I think, great. Let's signpost these people to the course, because I think this is what they're all here for. I mean, hey, we've got users here.
Our servers right now are just overloaded. The amount of people who just joined the course, like, holy crap. Yeah, if you want to join, you got to join right now. And we got to wrap this thing up too, because we got to serve all these clients that we don't have. I mean, the clients that we do have who just joined the course, it's just going to take so much of our time. I know. What are some last pieces of advice you could give to someone who's really trying to be the worst possible influencer on LinkedIn? What's the worst thing about it?
I think just be who you aren't is like the most fantastic piece of advice I can just tell. It's just like, look, when you wake up in the morning, just decide who you want to be and be that person in the public domain. I mean, hey, it doesn't matter who you are. Just tell people whatever you want to call them. Create whatever headline you want. I mean, take other people's photos, take other people's work.
Yeah.
Just do whatever you want, because at the end of the day, when you're getting clients, like you won't be doing with the course that we're trying to sell, nothing else matters in life.
Exactly. Just like the Metallica song, my friend, nothing else matters. For me, the best tip that I can give you is just make up stories. I think that works endlessly. It's worked for thousands of years. It still works now. Just make up stories about fake clients. Make up stories about how you saved someone's life, how you gave a dog a job, how you picked up the ice cream cone for some kid and he grew up to be a billionaire. Whatever you got to do, make it up and make sure that you outline this right at the top of the post before they click the see more button. And usually the post will sound something like, he didn't have a job. He was crying when he came to me. She was frustrated. She asked me for advice. Just make yourself seem like the hero and make it sound as pretentious as you possibly can. We really want to hammer that in these posts, right? So by the end of it, it sounds like you are really boasting yourself here as well, okay? So those are the tips we have. Again, if you like the $300,000 course, you can find the link for that in the description. I'm not sure which description. or where or when. Actually, you know what? The thing's fully booked out. We're not taking any more clients because we just don't have the time. We just became billionaires out of this live stream as it is. I know. What are you going to do with your money before we wrap up?
I think what I'm going to do is hire all of those virtual assistants who seem to be messaging me, and all those crypto and forex traders.
Yes.
And yeah, like that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. And my favorite are the lead gen people, the growth hackers. Fantastic. I'm going to hire some of these and just double, triple, quadruple my business. Who knows how?
Overnight.
But it's going to happen overnight for sure.
Overnight. And I think on that note, I'm going to take your advice. I have to pack my bags to go to the Philippines. I'm also getting my plumbing certification because I got a job offer for someone in the Philippines who wants me to work there as a plumber. So LinkedIn has been great for me, but I think fixing pipes is really where it's at for me right now, especially in the Philippines. So I'm going to go pack my bags, Anil. And where can they find you?
They can't. And that's the whole point. You've got to create distraction. You've got to create mystique.
Can't see me.
You don't want people, you can't see me. Yeah, exactly. John Cena. That is the whole point. You don't want to create a brand. You don't want to do anything public. You just create mystique.
We're changing the game here. We're changing LinkedIn. Well, everybody, I know you got a lot of value out of this because the tips we've shared are only 10 of the tips in our course. It's just truly going to change your life and your LinkedIn. If you want to scam people, if you want to plagiarize people's content, implement these tips, and you will love us for the rest of your life for it. Anything else to add, Anil, before we wrap up?
That's it. Have a great day. And yeah, take advantage of this fantastic course that is only available for the next 60 seconds. That's it.
And now it's fully booked, so you can't. Sorry, guys.
Game over.
All right, everybody. Catch you next time on our Super Authentic course. Take care.